Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best and I am back home. And we have James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel who is here.
Hey,
Hello,
hey,
mate.
hey.
Y'all, we got to go over the foolishness that was the episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which is now on MTV. If you are new here, hello, welcome. I hope you like our little discussion on the episode. If you're someone who's been here, thank you for supporting our channel. Like the video, subscribe, all those good things. And the link to James's channel is in the description of this video. Let's jump right on into the foolery. Mendice's son, Lil Mendice's, is graduating. Good for you. Handsome young man. He came out well considering his parents are ridiculous. Now, I'm glad to see Yandy and Samantha getting along. I was worried when they showed the graduation and I said, the actual mama gonna have to be there. And it's always some mess, and they use this baby mama drama for a storyline. And allegedly, I'm gonna post the link to somebody else's video. Yandy and Medici shady as hell, but we already kind of knew that. Now,
Absolutely.
you could tell at this little graduation thing that Yandy and Mendices are still not cool. Rightfully so. I've been on Mendici's side the whole time. You can't just go and do what you want with your body. But then at the same time, we have to remember these people are not actually married, so he really doesn't have a say so. But they're
And
playing
that's
like
the
they're
silver
married.
lining I fall on is they're not married. So, sorry, sir. No, that don't count.
Now you could tell they're not cool, and it is wrong, regardless of them being married or not. When you're in a relationship with someone, especially if you have kids, it's probably something you want to discuss with them before you start the process. Yandy did not do that. She just went into the process and then told him when she was way far along into it. She's also volunteering. They're sharing a household and finances together. She's volunteering her money to carry a baby for her cousin, get the egg, pay for a surrogate. What is your cousin pitching in? How's she gonna pay for diapers? I just want to know. Now we see Keisha around, like she didn't just destroy these people's relationship, her and her antics. In my opinion, this gonna sound harsh. I think Keisha knew that she pretty much couldn't have no baby. I think Keisha knew that her options is gonna be either to adopt or to do nothing at all. I mean, she didn't want to have the surgery for her endometriosis to heighten her chances of even being able to carry because she didn't want to go through that process. So I feel like it sounds like Keisha's gone through the struggle with trying to get pregnant for a very long time. And it just seems like, girl, you should have knew this wasn't going to work. Why you let your cousin tear up her relationship with that sensitive ass man? Why you let that happen? But she asks Mendices if she's good. Yandy asks him, and he says he's still mad about the egg thing. And Yandy claims she was between a rock and a hard place. But if you want to play married, when you're married, you have to think of your spouse. It's just the way it goes. So you wasn't between a rock and a rock and a hard place. You chose your cousin and value her more than your partner. But Yandy is the one who chose not to send them wedding papers in to solidify and legalize their marriage. So from the beginning, she don't seem to be too invested. But how did you feel about the whole scene? I was annoyed with it because I feel like everything they do for the camera.
Everything they do is for the camera. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say it early. I feel like they both have other people, both Yandy and Mendices. I feel like they both have other people, and they come on Love and Hip Hop because Yandy's check is bigger than all of theirs combined. I am sure of it. Allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly to protect my friend's channel, but because Love and Hip Hop was Yandy's original idea before Mona come in, allegedly, I feel like they come together for the cameras, and I feel like off camera when they're not filming, they have other people. I feel like Yandy, in my opinion, allegedly, Yandy has somebody in Africa. That's what I feel. I do because she's always there. Her, Quad, Portia, and a slew of other ones. They're always in
Not a
Africa. I feel
school of
like,
others.
yeah, well, see, Quad and Portia and Shamia are the only ones I recognize out of all of the other girls that they have on Instagram when they go to Africa. I feel like Yandy has somebody else. I do. I feel like the way she's acting, and we'll get into it more. I feel like the way she's acting, and Yandy be lying so damn much that you don't know what's true about her.
That's
But
the truth.
but for me, it's giving. They have other people. It is. It's given that. I'm sorry.
Well, that's all for now with them folk. I mean, we kind of feel like Andy BBS and her credibility is pretty much shot, but she's still on the show. But we did see Bambi go to meet with Zell Swag, and here comes some more BS. I'm so tired of the bullshit with these people like doing stuff just for the camera. I'm gonna let y'all know before I even get to it. I don't believe nothing of it that came from this situation with Zell. Now, Bambi beats with Zell, and they're getting grills. This is so 2005. Please, please. I personally do not care for grills. I don't get it. I feel like you could put your money into something else, make a nice little ankle bracelet or nice little necklace, or hell, just keep the gold. And someday, it'll be worth something big, hopefully. Why make a grill? But they're getting grills. And Bambi asked about the girl in Mexico because Zell went to Mexico with a bunch of his friends, and apparently he slept with a woman. Now, the woman that he slept with does not know that he's bisexual. That's just what I'm saying because we've seen Zell since he came on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. We've been seeing him deal with women. We've been seeing him deal with men. That is what you would classify as bisexual. But Zell says he don't want to put a label on himself. He claimed he's just a freak and like it all. But the girl that he slept with in Mexico, he doesn't think that she knows that he deals with women and men. And then his dumbass says that they didn't use a condom and the girl's period is late and she may be pregnant. Why on a platform do you choose to promote like the most ignorant form of sex? I know it happens. Hell, I'm guilty of it. Before Mr. Best was a husband, there's things we did that we probably shouldn't have, but hell, like overall, like let's try to be safe. I didn't use a condom. I was in Mexico. And then he said he was on a gay boys trip, ended up with a woman. She had to know if he was traveling with a bunch of guys. She had to know. But I don't know. It just feels like all of this is for the season, for the show, because he don't have Saucy no more. I don't buy any of it. But how did you feel about it, James?
I don't buy it either. I'm sorry. This is given 100% storyline. First of all, this doesn't even seem real. Y'all should have got a better actress. If y'all were going to get somebody to come on TV with Zell, y'all should have got a better actress. Because that girl, I'm telling you, when we get to it, I'm finna go in. But here's the thing about the whole pregnancy thing. I understand his sexuality preferences and stuff. It's a very ignorant way that he puts it, but I understand it because I'm also that way as well. I like whatever likes me at the time, but right now my preference is to have somebody more dominant, so that's why I'm on the men train. But the problem that I have with him is that he's doing it in a way where he goes, "Well, this is how I was raised, and this is what it's going to be," even though I like playing on me at the field. That's when it becomes a play in, words. But I'm one of those people that believe sexuality is scientific anyway. It's not really psychological. I think humans made it psychological. So I can understand him. But this whole being unprotected sex and then you sleeping with this woman, you was over there with porn stars and stuff, and he does have a porn video out there. So it's like, okay, so what was y'all doing? So you just up and decide just to have sex. It's just such a random story. Like, come on.
It's strange. Either
It
way, it's
is.
not a good look. He just looked ignorant to me. That's my opinion. And I don't care who you sleep with, what you like, but Zell always points it out and makes it a
Mm-hmm.
thing, which lets me know that he's less secure. He talk about his sexuality more than Saucy Santana do, who's openly gay. So that tells you who's
It's
secure.
because he doesn't have approval of it, and that's the thing. He doesn't have approval of it. No one in it probably he doesn't have a family that approves of it, so he's living out and has to constantly tell himself, "Yeah, this is the way I want to be." This is like it's reassuring himself because it's not an approved way of life for his family. That's just what it is, and it's so sad. Like it really is because you should just be what you want to be with and be who you want to be with. But it's like when you don't feel support, you feel like you can't do it.
I don't know. All I feel like he definitely doing stuff for the camera. It's weird. Now,
Yeah.
I think go say something and talk about something so sensitive like that while you get in the grill. Bye. Uh, Moving on with this, the Amy Luciani, Erica Banks, and Ashley, who's Zane's wife, who I don't care for at all. She's like a gnat buzzing in my ear personally. But they go to work out. All of these ladies have great bodies. well, Amy and Ashley, I'll give them that. Erica Banks, please stop going under the knife. It's not cute. Please stop it. Now, Ashley says that Zayn don't wear his ring because everybody she meets is surprised that she is married to him. And she says she wears her ring, which makes no sense. Hot Mess Express, that's all I'm gonna say on that. I don't understand. She has to be staying with him for the money or something because he having parties with other women at the house. There's maybe babies running around. He's potentially sleeping with his baby mama, and he's hanging out with pretty much the creep squad of Atlanta. And you still choose to stay. What is there to figure out when he continues to show you he wants his cake and to eat it too?
I don't understand what's so hard for her to accept that he has a baby that is his. Like, I don't understand what's so hard to accept about that. Like, it was before you, allegedly, and it was in this situation where he's continuing to sleep with her because you said you had proof that he is. And this whole time, his wearing his ring is just no. He doesn't want to claim that he's married because he probably doesn't want to be married. But it's probably cheaper to keep you than to get rid of you. So that's probably what he's doing.
I believe that.
So,
I believe
yeah.
that makes sense because a man that want to be married
Mhm.
gonna wear his ring. That's the
Or
truth.
even say that he's married, or even put on Front Street that he's married. There are plenty of men that do it. Yes, I'm married. You, where you see me, you see my wife. That's just how I mean, there's been like that all over the place. I just don't think that that's in the cards. I think a lot of black men at some point feel pressure to get married because that's the surroundings that they grew up with. But some men aren't fit to be married, Kirk. So,
Right. Lord help us. Lord help us. Shout out to Mr. Best because you never take off your ring. He never take that thing off. I'd be surprised. This
I
is
can't wait
every
to get
music
one.
video.
I can't wait to get one, so I don't have to take mine off either.
He really never takes it off. And you know, it's funny. I'm so bad with wedding rings. I'm on my third one. Don't judge me, y'all. But shut up, James. But
Because
it's
me, you are so like, because I've lost mine. I'm like, girl,
he said, if I lose the one I got now, he go buy me a necklace for the next one, and that's the only way I'm gonna get another one purchased. I said, "Oh shit, I don't."
No, you need to just lock. No, you just need to lock it up. Like, lock up your engagement ring, lock up your band, and just get you one or get you a couple of them and just wear them. Like, just
I can't
as like
stand you, not a couple. He
No,
knows
I'm just saying. Yeah, I do. Just get you a couple of them. Like, they even got the ones that band together. So you just put it as an engagement and a band,
I
and you
do
can just
keep
wear
the
it together.
engagement part. I wear the wedding band, but I keep the engagement part locked up in the closet
Yeah,
because
and lock up that band too, and just get you some fake ones. That's all you gotta do for
I
him.
can't trust myself. If I lose that one, it's so I might get put out. Moving on, y'all. We also learned that Amy's talking about an event that Jasmine will be at. We'll get to that when we get to that. Amy's getting on my nerves because any opportunity she talk about this man that was never even truly hers. And we're going to get to that a little later, but she get on my nerves for that. And I'm sick of it. Now, I'm sorry, James. I'm sorry in advance, James. The next thing we're going to discuss is Mendices and Yandy with their counselors. Look at them. People get on his nerves, and I love it. Now, Yandy mentions that Mendices is no longer wearing the ring. I'd like to take a moment to pause and remind all of the viewers of the Mrs. Best Reviews channel that these people are not legally married. They are what we would call common law. There are no paperwork that are linking the two together. If one of them ends up on life support, they got to call each other's mama, not each other.
Yep, they got to call Judy. They got to call Judy with her ignorant behind and say, "Yeah, the right you rubbing a coconut on this man."
I'm trying to tell you, they're not married. But Yandy is upset that he's not wearing his ring. She says that it's a lack of respect. And Mendices feel like the ring also represents respect. That he says that he views it as a couple being together as one, which is actually what they tell you when you get married and what the ring represents. Well, part of it. Now, Yandy worries that he doesn't know if they are together or not, like officially. And Mendices is pretty much like he's not going to fake his feelings for Yandy and insinuates that she's the type to want to put on a front for social media, you know, just so other people view them as being okay. And he says that Yandy pays attention to the opinions and the comments and the likes and all of that that comes with social media. Listen, though I think at times Mendices be BSing, and I think he kind of used her to get on the show. That's just my personal opinion. However, What he said is actually true. Chrissy accused Yandy of this. Pretty much anyone who's had an issue with Yandy on this show has accused her of this. She does seem like the type who pays close attention to social media, and nothing's wrong with that because that's how she's made her money. She really is a great businesswoman, does a lot for the African American community. But when it comes to love and hip hop in this relationship, in these storylines, she be bullshitting us. I don't like how she behaved in the little therapy session or after it. Because after they leave the stage session, she claims that she feels beat up and like she was painted as the bad guy. I'm gonna just say this: women, there is a such thing as being too independent. I think Yandy is a big example of this. You can have your success in all the things that she has and still be able to make your partner feel like they matter. Lots of relevant couples and couples in private, just regular people do it. That's my take on it. Even though they're not really married, I do think she's wrong. And he's actually expressing himself instead of going out and cheating, though there's rumors allegedly. But I don't know. In this instance, I'm on his side. How you feel, James?
I agreed with Mendices as well. This will be the first time I've ever agreed with him because I usually don't. But I absolutely do. Yandy is very pretentious, so very much so. Yes, she cares about what she looks like, what she eats, how it makes her feel, how it makes the viewers feel, because she's constantly in producing mode. But what I'm going to say about this, if this were real, like let's put devil's advocate, let's play devil's advocate. If this was real and Yandy and Mendices were really married, this is a circumstance where at the beginning of their marriage, people have to realize that he was absent for about 5 years of that. So the time that they would have gotten to a place where they fully trust each other, that they fully have each other's backs, or that they fully commune as one couple, that has been gone. And she's used to making the decisions without him. So now that he's been out of prison for 5 years, it's kind of one of those situations where you're like, okay, look, how do I fit you back into my life when I've had to make all the decisions without you? So it's going to take me a while to adjust. So I think that I would look at it from that perspective if they were really married and they were talking to his other baby mama, Erica, right there, and her new husband, doing this counseling couple. I would have put it like that. But because that's not the circumstance and I don't believe this shit is real, I can't really say that. But that's how I'm going to play it. But shout out to Erica and her new husband for trying to get them together. And if y'all confused on why I'm calling this therapist Erica, it's because that lady looked exactly like his other baby mom to the T. I thought that's who that was. I was like, damn, so both her and Samantha got the come-ups? Damn, okay. But I realized when I rewinded, watched it the second time, that wasn't her. Because that's who I thought they were talking to. I said, damn, look at life. They done came around. Yandy good with that baby mama. That girl that came up. Look at that house. Look at that man. Everything. That girl that came up. And then I watched it the second time. It wasn't her. And I said, oh, shit. But I'm still going to call her here because she looks like her. I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all go back and watch that season where he had the other baby mama, that lady looked exactly like her.
Now, the next thing we see is Zell Swag meet with this girl, Brianna. And the whole comment she made about her missed period was strange. Like, if you miss your period, like, why go take a pregnancy test? Why are you waiting and coming and chilling and like doing all this? Go take a pregnancy test and make a doctor's appointment. It's like she's just handling it in a very goofy way. It just does not seem real. But, he says that the situation with her missing her period threw him off. And I'm like, what do you mean it threw you off? What did you expect if you had intercourse unprotected? What did you expect? Like, I know you took sex ed, Zell. He gets on my nerves with this. But this girl, Brianna, this is that she wants to be married before she carries. Well, it's too late for that if this is the case. And if you periods, I'm like, what is wrong with these people? I feel bad for the child.
First of all, if this were real, once again, if this were real, why would you think a man you would just have sex with and you want to be married before you conceive another child? Why would you think this man you just randomly had sex with in Mexico would have been that man for you? Like, what does he give quality-wise that you see that would make him husband material?
Be married before you have another child. Why aren't you on birth control? Why didn't
Right.
you at least use a condom?
Why aren't you
Why?
building up the qualifications for this man to come in here? And that's the problem with a lot of you women. Because men have taught you that you need to give it up before you see any, formalities or see any reward in this. They taught y'all to do that. So when y'all do it, they don't have to do anything else. So I don't know what measurements of men that y'all actually are trying to accumulate here, but it's not working. And this lady sounded so ridiculous. That's why I think she was acting. Because there's no way I took this shit seriously.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
know.
know how
I
you
wouldn't
looked
say
at
that
Zale and knew
all
enough.
women feel that way, but I'll definitely say that this girl is dense. Zell is the one who had to pull out the doggone pregnancy test. Why? Why couldn't you at least buy your own pregnancy test, girl? As soon as I missed my period, I would have been bought 5. But that's just how I am.
That's because this was acting. I don't believe, like, I have a hard time believing this was real because she didn't strike me as no immediate dummy, but she just kind of, I don't feel like I think she was reading off of a script that Zell was going to do this, and I don't know what this was trying to prove because I felt like I heard that he was in Mexico prior to the situation only 3 weeks ago. So and I had to watch the episode again because I felt like that's what I heard. And if that's what I heard, then you need to be questioned paternity.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
So
I think
I'm gonna
there's a lot
rewatch it
of
again, and
holes.
I'll come back next week, and I'll give y'all a confirmation. So, but
Well,
yeah,
for
I thought
what
I
we
heard three
see
weeks
that's
ago.
gonna happen on the next episode, now she may not know if she wants to keep the baby. Which
You know what did it?
Georgia is a state where once she's pregnant, unfortunately, with the reversal of Roe v. Wade, and that's
Hmm.
one of those states where if you're pregnant, you're pregnant.
Yeah. But here's my
So
thing. Here's my thing about this is that I felt like she was fine with him up until the part where he said he messed with me, because she paused and was like, and I was like, it ain't obvious, but oh, okay.
I don't
I
buy it.
mean,
Looking at this young woman, looking at her age, the fact that she knows him, and the fact that he was with someone as big as Saucy Santana in popularity, there's no way that she did not know that he dealt with men when he was just with a man
yeah.
publicly.
There is moments where he is unassuming, but I feel like those are far and few between now. I feel like
She
if
just
we
she seemed like the type that would know. I feel like she is
No,
one to
she seemed like the
know.
type. Yeah, this was acting. I feel like this was acting. She's trying to get on TV, and Zell needed something to work with. Which I feel like Zell, you was better off just finding a whole nother man and bringing
Right.
him on the show, and versus you and Saucy and the chef over there. You was better off doing that than to do this. This was ridiculous.
Pretty much. We did see Bambi Jessica Zell meet with an astrologer. Jessica went down a rabbit hole about astrology and dating, and I was just happy to see her sober for a change. I'm sorry, y'all. She be toe up for the flow up on this show. She be drunk. That's just what it is. At first I was like, okay, maybe she just having fun. Maybe she nervous. She on TV. No, she liked to keep the bottle close, and she goes down the rabbit hole of astrology and dating. Now this is where Zell confirms because he gave the pregnancy test and then it went to commercials. But this is where we find out that the girl is pregnant. Why? This is how I also don't believe it. Why you announce it before the girl can announce it?
No,
Like
why are you carrying that girl's piss stick? Is the real question.
that was the weirdest part.
Why do you have that? You could just say that the girl's pregnant. You don't have to
Why
show
did you
people
have to
a
show
pee stick. Like, that is nasty, the fact that you carry that with you. And did Bambi touch it? I don't remember.
Listen,
I feel like she did. And I'm like,
I was
why would she?
dumbfounded that he even had it.
Yes.
Because usually if someone keeps it, the woman may keep it. But I'm like, why? Wait, why do you have it?
Why do you have it? Like, that's
And
what I'm saying. This is why it gets bullshit, y'all. This is why I don't believe it. Because you wouldn't have that if it were true. Like, why? You don't need a souvenir. The fact
that's
that you getting impregnated a girl.
the
You don't need a
souvenir is
souvenir
the
for that.
baby. Hell.
Right. You don't need that. Like, come on here.
I cannot. I cannot. Now, this is where Zell also tells us that apparently the girl does not want to have a baby out of wedlock. Listen, you don't want to have a baby out of wedlock. Either practice the art of abstinence or use one of the many forms of whatever the hell is called safety practices that's out there. There's condoms, there's sponges, there's douches, there's shots, there's patches, there's stuff they can stick up in you, the IED. There's so many options. Girl, bye. Or you can simply track your period and when you ovulate. But I just thought it was strange that he
It
went
was.
into all of that. And Bambi, why do you feel like Zell needs to tell Santana that he has a girl pregnant? That
That was
also
weird.
takes away the credibility of this whole pregnancy thing. Because why does he need to tell? I'm not gonna run and call my ex like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." That's
Right.
weird.
It's like you want him to rub it in this guy's face. And this one couldn't even care less what this man does. That's why I'm just like, Bambi,
You
that's
gonna
why I
tell the
can't do
guy who
with you
got you
sometimes.
blocked
Yeah, like,
that you
and
pregnant?
yeah, it's so weird. It's
Let me
so
tell
weird
you,
that you would do.
this episode showed me Zell need to go. Hell, Bambi need to go. I think she's run her course on this show.
I feel like MTV is doing test pilots. This is why everybody coming up with like crazy ass storylines on this show. This is why Jasmine has popped up out of nowhere. This is why Yandy is still trying to sell this on this marriage. This is why Zell's popping up with potential baby mamas and all this shit. And Saucy Santana's mom coming up with this book. These storylines are way wild than any Loving Hip Hop season has been.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I feel like MTV told them to step it up, and they're coming up with the most ridiculous shit
the
ever.
ridiculous things that they could.
Yes.
I agree.
Hmm.
I agree. Do me a favor, like the video if you haven't already. Shout out to the replay gang, those who watch us when we are no longer live. We do appreciate you. Oh, Lord help us. The astrologer was just sitting there too while they was having this
I
conversation.
would have sat there too. I would have been like, "The fuck, get my
Especially
money, Mona, and come on." Like
right.
I would have did that too.
She
Because
was sitting there like,
yeah,
okay, we're supposed to be
yeah,
talking about the
between
stars and shit. Now y'all
right
talking
between Jessica White over there talking about she talked to flies and shit.
right.
Bambi just there just to be there, just to be in the scene. And then Zell pulling out souvenirs of pregnancy tests. Like,
Mm,
no, it's just this scene was stupid.
I
That's
would have
what I'd
put
have
them out
sat
of my
there too.
office.
I'd have been like, okay, y'all can leave now. I'm gonna get my check and come on, y'all leave.
No
But she looked
sense.
over it.
Now, the next thing we see is Diamond having an engagement party. Why do we keep getting Diamond? She's not a cast member. She's not really dealing with Scrappy anymore. She's actually fully moved on from him. Why is Diamond still on this show? I don't get it. But Diamond's here. She's having an engagement party. The stripper was funny. That's just all I'm gonna say. I prefer female strippers. Bounce that ass, girl. But it's very strange that she's going to get married in Alaska, but Alaska's beautiful. I hope that she has a great jacket. I want Amy to stop talking about this man, her ex, that is now dating Bambi. Amy, you need to get something else to talk about.
At this point, I'm challenging her credibility. Was
Yeah,
that even your man at this point?
he
Was
said
it
that
even
they
your
just slept
man?
with each other. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's I know that's what she said. But she's carrying off like this man was once upon a time her husband or something. Like, I'm challenging your credibility because you can't. To me, I still, and I don't care what anybody says, I still don't feel like Bambi's wrong. I am sorry. That shit happened, even if it did happen 10 goddamn years ago.
I used
So
to
I don't
feel like
understand.
Bambi owed her something off the strength of I thought it was a relationship. But the fact that this wasn't a relationship, it was just like a hookup a couple times and you just now meeting Bambi. No, she don't owe you nothing. It's from
She don't owe
over
you
a
nothing.
decade ago. They confirmed it 12 years ago is where they are complaining about. And they weren't even a relationship. They didn't talk about
And
it or
you and
anything.
Bambi
They
were
was
not
just having
friends then
sex.
either. So let's be clear. You and Bambi weren't even friends then either. So if that's the case, ma'am, move on somewhere.
Get over it, Amy.
Because at the end of the day, that wasn't your man. This is a new friendship. They met, hit it off, and it was good. I would not trip like that.
Right.
Like if it was somebody, even if I was with the person 10 years ago, I'm not gonna trip off of somebody I was with because I'm over it.
Yeah.
I hope they learned, I hope they grown, and I hope they're the best for you because obviously they weren't for me. That's
Yeah.
how I look at it.
Amy, I'm over it. I want to see her do something else or just keep modeling for Rashida and make a music girl. Now, Erica Racine and Jasmine Blue, the side chick, arrive. Uh, I didn't understand why everybody, when they arrived, expected for Carly Red to ask about Jasmine being there. And this, I was glad they reminded us of this. Back when we first found out about Jasmine and the fact that she had Kirk's baby, We didn't even meet her when she was pregnant. I forgot. We met her when the baby was already had. That's so bad. It's one thing to have a baby on the way when you got your wife, but to keep the pregnancy and the birth a secret, he a cold piece of work. Now, Carly is the one who used to be friends with Jasmine, and then that's when she found out all the crap. It was very messy. That was back when Love and Hip Hop was in this little juicy era. Now Carly goes and gets Jasmine, and for some reason Yandy is there, which I didn't understand. And Jasmine says that Kirk has been trying to have affairs with her, and she claims that she has proof of these affairs, which she's been saying. Now Yandy says in response to Jasmine, telling her that she should talk to Rashida, and Jasmine says that Rashida has not reached out to her. Jasmine shows the proof, and this is where Yandy is like, "That's all you have?" I said, "Oh, hell." And she explains that this is not it. Yandy did have some points. She said, "This is not the environment to be dropping this information. You should tell it to Rashida," which I agree, Jasmine. I go straight to the source. You could get just as much camera time going and talking to Rashida about what Kirk's been doing as you are getting telling all these people, in my opinion. But Yandy explains to her, it's your responsibility as Cannon's mother to have contact with whoever your child is around, regardless. Because, in my opinion, when Rashida chose to forgive Kirk, yes, she has to accept the baby, but due to his age and how young he is, she also has to accept the fact that she's going to have to interact with his mom. If you're going to be so involved, like it's just the fact. And if that's not going to happen, then Jasmine, stop sending your kid over. So I kind of fault Jasmine and Rashida in that instant, but Yandy has a point. Jasmine's talking to the wrong people. She needs to demand to speak with Rashida. So then Jasmine comes for Yandy's fake marriage, and Jasmine ends up storming off. Carly tells Jasmine it takes two to tango, and she's like, F Kirk, F Rashida, you guys always hold me accountable. No, I think people have held Kirk and continue to hold Kirk accountable. Kirk will never be viewed as a good husband, a good man. The only people who are giving Kirk a pass really are on this cast, but Jasmine. At the same time, Yandy made some points. Why are you just now showing the proof, but you've been talking about it? What are you going to get now that the proof has been shown? I'm just looking at everybody like they a fool, personally. How do you feel, James? Because everybody looks stupid to me.
Yeah,
Everybody, from Rashida to Yandy to Jasmine.
Yeah, everybody looks stupid. I would agree with you had Carly not walked up to her and asked her for the information. And let's not forget, Yandy chose to sit at that table when they were in conversation. She joined the table later.
This is true.
So for me, though I see Yandy's point, I don't agree with it. I see Yandy's point, but the problem is that you have already made up your mind that this is the enemy. So anything that she says, of course, you're going to dispute it.
Yeah.
So there was no point of you even getting upset or getting irate because you wanted no parts of it. As you said before, Carly went up to her and spoke to her like all the messy women around her said to go do. So when she pulls out what y'all wanted originally, now y'all want to be mad because she pulled it out and said, hey, no, you need to go talk to Rashida. That's not the energy y'all were on. Now, of course, Jasmine didn't know that, but she's only doing what she was asked to do. So for you to have a problem with it, to me, you look like you were projecting. This looks like projection. That didn't look like you was concerned for your friend and you mad at this woman because, mind you, this shit was not 2 or 3 years ago. This shit happened 10 years ago. That baby is now 10. So at the end of the day, this is no different. What she's disputing is the fact that he's still trying to slide over there. And Rashida knows. So let's not act like this. That's why I said I didn't want to.
We've been saying for seasons when Kirk and Rashida, these last 2 seasons, was trying to portray themselves as like the perfect couple since the show came to MTV. I said, they trying to distract us from what's really going on. Because ain't no way they just had this maybe baby situation and then the baby mama just disappears for all of about 7 years and is silent. No, she was silently happy, silently probably still dealing with Kirk. I don't buy.
I don't buy it either. Because first of all, if y'all don't watch my channel and go to my updates video, Rashida own mama was sitting on Kirk's lap grinding up there. Rashida, in that video. So I'm sorry. No, when you do that, no, I feel like other bullshit aligns, and this is one of them. So I'm sorry. I wasn't really feeling Andy in this scene, and it's because of how this whole scene portrayed itself. Now, if the scene were different, where Jasmine came out and said, "Hey, y'all, look at my phone. This is Kurt." If she would have did that, then yes, Yandy would have had. I would have stood with Yandy 10 toes down, even though I don't even like Yandy. I would have stood with that. But
The
y'all
thing
went to
that I
her.
need Jasmine to understand, though, you are not a victim. At the end of the day, yes, with holding Kirk accountable, he was wrong because he know better and he's the one that took vows. However, you were wrong too because you knew it was public knowledge. The whole world knew at the time that you started sleeping with him that he was married. So, you know, everybody involved is wrong, but I'm getting tired of Rashida's little friends walking up to this girl.
Yes. I was just going to say that.
Erica Dixon did the same thing
until she's provoked. She doesn't do it. Like, I have to give it to Jasmine. I know I'm not going to give her much, but I have to give it to her. She does not do anything until she's provoked. Erica has done it now. She voluntarily gave them the information to Mama D. That's because Mama D was fishing for that shit. And then now here come Cardi. So she's only doing things when she's provoked. She's just showing up in the scene because they're telling her to show up to a scene. But she's not interacting with anybody. She's not saying anything to anybody. She's just there. So for me, I kind of feel like, okay, well, if you're fishing for the information that she has, so she's going to cast it. That's just how it is. So I'm not saying I'm on her side, but what I'm saying is she, to me, so far, has not done anything that I feel like they should just be downing her at this point because she's done nothing but show up.
The only mistake this girl made is with the season. Don't talk about somebody coming for you without the receipt. It took her a long time to show a damn receipt. We should have been seeing this receipt. But I'm curious to see what happens on the next episode and going forward with the season. If Rashida stays with Kirk after this, I think she will. I don't know who respects her at this time, but I think she will know that we're done with the storyline. At this point, it's not fun. It's going to become predictable. We don't even feel sorry for you no more. You know, you know.
Pretty much, I'm just going to think this is Dr. Scott and Dr. Contessa at this point. I do. And y'all know how I feel about Dr. Contessa. If y'all don't know, go to my channel and watch Married to Married. Y'all already know how I feel about Contessa. So that's why I'm like, Rashida gives me that same energy.
Yeah. But that was pretty much the episode, y'all. Be sure to like the video. We will. I'm not sure if we'll be on James's channel tonight or not for an unpopular opinion. He said he wants to do one.
No, we'll probably do it tomorrow. Keep the alignment of Family Empire Houston and the Braxtons. So, because I still have to watch the Braxtons. I didn't watch it last night. So, I'm going to watch it tonight. And then Family Empire Houston comes on tonight. So, we're going to align that with those videos. So, we'll be on my channel tomorrow.
Other than that, like the video, subscribe, love and light to everybody. We will see you for Love and Hip Hop again next week. Adios.
Yes. Adios.